Joe wants to neutralize Peach, but Peach is still skeptical of him. Peach presents Beck to a well-known literary agency, but when the agent advances on Beck and tells her what Peach had said about her, Beck snaps at Peach. Joe recognizes Peach's later hoax suicide attempt and learns by looking at her laptop that she has a crush on Beck. Joe follows Peach on her morning run in Central Park and rocks her in the head because he knows Peach will always catch Beck's eye. When Joe gets home, he discovers that Paco has drugged Ron to keep his mother safe. Ron defeats Joe despite Joe trying to save him. Joe discovers Peach is still alive. A recuperating Peach excommunicates Joe while she stays with Beck. Peach is in love with her and attempting to make Beck reliant on her, Joe tells Beck. When Beck is whisked away by Peach to the Salinger family home in Greenwich, Joe sneaks along, but he hurts his head and starts having hallucinations of his ex-girlfriend Candace. Raj, an old acquaintance of Peach and Beck, accepts the invitation. They all take MDMA, and Peach tries to set up a trio with Beck and Raj. She is rejected by Beck, who then adjourns to the phone to text Joe. After Beck confronts Peach about the kiss and departs, Peach finds Joe inside and pulls a revolver on him. Joe shares what he knows about her after she accuses him of following her. Peach is slain in the ensuing scuffle for the firearm. Detectives suspect Peach shot herself after finding a suicide note written by Joe on her computer. Joe uses the identity Paul to schedule a session with Dr. Nikki, Beck's therapist. After Peach died a month earlier, his relationship with Ronaldo, who was actually Beck, was going well, then it gradually soured. Joe pursues Beck out of jealousy as she exhibits an increase in her moodiness, distance, and secrecy, but she catches him. She breaks up with Joe after he suspects her of having an extramarital affair with her therapist. While listening to one of Beck's therapy sessions in the present on Dr. Nikki's computer, Joe comes to the conclusion that Beck would be better off without him at this time. He gives her the information she requests before releasing her. 3 months after Joe and Beck split up, Joe is contently seeing Karen, and Beck has won a book deal thanks to her account of Peach's passing. After running into Joe at a food truck, Beck starts to miss him and texts him. Dr. Nikki receives confessions from both Beck and Joe. Beck denies flirting with Joe but is convinced Karen is the wrong person for him, and Joe has begun to contrast his new love, Brad, Karen, with his former, Ronaldo, Beck. While assisting Blythe with her move-in with Ethan, Joe and Beck reunite. Beck sobs as she tells Joe how wonderful he was for her, but she was terrified to meet him. Joe breaks up with Karen and rushes over to visit Beck, who agrees to get back together with him. Karen confronts Beck, leading her to become suspicious of Joe's past.